Welcome back to Caffeine Confessionals. In the year 2015, MTV was casting for the challenge Battle of the Exes 2. However, when looking for rookies, they noticed that the real-world casting pool was becoming ever so slim. So, MTV had the brilliant idea of going outside of their comfort zone to bring in cast members from their new dating show, Are You the One? While the choice to cast people from Are You the One initially upset challenge fans, we now live in an era where anyone can get cast onto the challenge. Whether you be from Big Brother, WWE, X on the Beach, Love Island, Jersey Shore, Survivor, The Bachelor, anywhere and everywhere. Whether they should cast from Are You the One used to be one of the most hotly debated topics, and now it's just funny to look back on. It's even weirder because Are You the One has almost been cycled out completely from the casting pool, where they've only brought in 2 people from Are You the One in the last 4 seasons overall. Over the last 11 seasons of the challenge, they have introduced 24 players to us who came from the Are You the One franchise, and I'm going to rank all of them for you in this video. This ranking is half based on performance and half based on overall impact of the franchise. Some people weren't great competitors, but they brought so much to the show. Likewise, some people maybe were a bit boring, but were absolutely beast competitors. Obviously though, the ones at the top give you a little bit of both. Kicking us off in 24th place is Eddie Williams. He appeared on one episode of the Challenge Vendettas. He was completely edited out of the episode, where you could see him in the background of certain scenes, but when he left the show, they made no mention of it. He got no confessionals. They basically pretended that he wasn't on the show at all. They edited Eddie out because his ex Alicia had accused him of being physically abusive during their relationship together. MTV did not show this to 1. Protect Alicia, and 2. Protect themselves from a potential defamation lawsuit in case her accusations end up being false. In 23rd is Brandon Tindall, known as the guy who quit Rivals 3 after a week of filming because he missed his girlfriend. Just a total loser. Like TJ Lavin said, hope to see you never. Also, that girlfriend dumped him. In 22nd place, we have Chuck Mowry in Final Reckoning, and he basically didn't even compete. Him and Brittany were purged on day 1, spent the entire time in the Redemption House, and didn't even get a shot back in the game. In 21st place, we have Asaf Goren, who appeared on one episode of Total Madness, got eliminated by Jay Sarah, but before that happened, at least he got to make out with Nany. In 20th place, we have Alicia Wright, and originally, MTV saw her as a future star of the franchise. In quick succession, she filmed Are You the One, Are You the One Second Chances, and then was supposed to be on Dirty 30. However, an emergency appendicitis the day before they left for filming for Dirty 30 left her off the season. Physically, I'm not sure Alicia had much to bring to the challenge, but if you watch her other reality shows, she brings a lot of drama, brings some great hookups, and is just gorgeous to look at. Alicia's performance on Vendettas was handcuffed by the fact that she entered the game in a relationship with Corey Warden. By being in a relationship, that meant she couldn't get into any hookups, and Corey's actions put a target on her, so once he got eliminated, she wasn't motivated at all, got thrown into elimination, and was just out. In 19th place, we have Anthony Bartolotti from Invasion of the Champions. He appeared on 4 episodes, and during his short stint, he had a small showmatch with Marie Rhoda that ended up getting him onto X on the Beach US Season 3. Based on his Are You the One season, Anthony had a lot of potential in terms of entertainment, drama, and hookups, and even as a competitor, he was in good shape, and his elimination with Nelson was super close. Had Anthony won that elimination, he probably goes really far in the game because he was socially set up really well. There is an alternate challenge universe where Anthony is a challenge staple and Nelson is gone after 2 seasons. In 18th place is Derrick Henry, who at this point is synonymous with being one of the biggest losers in reality television history. He did not win the $1 million on Are You the One. He was the first eliminated on Are You the One Second Chances. He lost the first official elimination of Dirty 30 and then was taken out pretty quickly on Final Reckoning with Tori. The guy has a great agent in that the fact that he keeps getting cast for these reality shows, but just hasn't done well on any of them. I will note though that Derrick has killed the hookup game. He's hooked up with Alicia, Angela, Ashley, Dee, and Tori. That's a whole starting lineup of hookups. In 17th place, we have John Jacobs, who appeared on 3 episodes of Exes 2 as Simone's partner, which is just a really funny guy. He even won a Battle of the Exile with Simone against Dustin Zito and Jessica. Not even joking, the first time I saw him on television, I actually went to Google because I thought he was the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite. In 16th place, we have Brianna LaQuesta, whose impact on the challenge, in all honesty, wasn't that significant. She had short stints on Dirty 30 and Rivals 3. On Rivals 3, Brandon quit on her, and on Dirty 30, she was brought in as an alternate for Ashley and lost the first elimination of the season. Despite this, Brianna is still a loved competitor because 1, she's hot as hell, 2, had funny commentary, and 3, is great on social media when it comes to interacting with fans. In 15th place is Nate Siebenmark, who appeared on one season, Rivals 3, and on paper, he didn't have a bad season. He won a daily challenge, he won an elimination, and he had a showmatch with Nicole Ramos. For most people, that would be a great challenge season because, you're hooking up, you're winning stuff, but he just had bad vibes. It seemed kind of lame. Nate was the poster child of what everyone hated about Are You the One? Nate put himself behind the 8 ball when he cried and refused to jump out of the airplane and skydive like all the other challengers. People already thought Are You the One was soft, and that just cemented him in the bad column for fans. In 14th place is Simone Kelly, who appeared on 3 seasons of the challenge, Exes 2, Rivals 3, and Dirty 30, all of which were very short stints. She's famous for getting into a fight with Ashley about her torn butthole. On night 1 of Rivals 3 as well, she got into a fight with Tony where she famously yelled, "Don't you lie on me, don't you ever lie on me." Hilariously, she caught feelings for Wes Bergman on Rivals 3, not knowing that he had a fiance at home. Wes explained to her that they could only be friends is one of the more underrated comedic moments in challenge history. Sadly for Simone, the last time we saw her on the challenge, she was getting physically assaulted by Shane Raines, and never put your hands on a woman. That's just, it's awful. In 13th place is Amber Martinez, the newest Are You the One player, and Amber just finished up a 10-episode stint on Double Agents where she got into a lot of social media drama. On the show itself, she brought a lot of personality, got into a verbal spar with Tori Deal, and even voted her into elimination. As a competitor though, Amber didn't really bring much. I don't know, it's hard to rank her. If she gets onto another season, I could see her skyrocketing up the ranks, but 13 seems fair for now. In 12th place, we have Christina LeBlanc. She appeared on Bloodlines and Rivals 3. She has the same accomplishments as Nate on Rivals 3, a daily challenge win, an elimination win, and if you include Bloodlines, she has a hookup with Tony, except she doesn't have all the bad baggage that comes with Nate. And if you watch the show closely, she's actually a pretty decent competitor. I would welcome a Christina LeBlanc return in all honesty. In 11th place, we have Cheyenne Floyd, and she is ranked this high because she's technically one half of the first Are You the One competitors to ever make a challenge final and win money. As a competitor, Cheyenne was not great. Her and Devin were actually the first boot of Rivals 3 and were only brought back due to the fact that so many teams either quit or DQ'd. Regardless of performance, the biggest legacy that Cheyenne has held is by having a baby with Corey Warden, and now they are a challenge family together on Teen Mom. That's huge. In 10th place, we have Brittany Baldassari from Challenge Battle of the Exes 2, and Brittany was not a good competitor, but her dysfunctional relationship with Adam was hilarious. Along with that, they technically did win 3 eliminations together, even if some of the wins themselves were a bit ugly. Winning 3 eliminations in a season is a rare feat, so to do it in your rookie season as the first Are You the One competitors ever, that's huge. Plus, watching them fight and hook up constantly was just hilarious. Brittany also holds the distinction of the fastest pole wrestle loss in challenge history. Yikes. In 9th place is Adam Kuhn, and Adam is one spot above Brittany because he was the better player. He was the reason they won their eliminations. And I think Adam had the potential to be a big star in the challenge. He had the look, he had the competitive ability, and he just made bad decisions all the time. I think Adam would have been on the show for many years had they not cast Tony Raines. Tony was a similar archetype to Adam in terms of skill set and look. The only difference was that Tony was messier and created more drama. In 8th place is Dario Medrano. He was the first Are You the One cast member to appear on 3 seasons of the challenge, and the first one to appear on 4 seasons of the challenge. Let's get into the negatives first. He was super boring his last season, Dirty 30, basically didn't show up at all, but was in the game for a long time. Along with that, his career elimination record is 1-3 and he never made it to a final. Moving on to the positives, Dario made a splash on his rookie season as he was no pushover at all. He got into it with Johnny Bananas, Vince, Nani, Nicole, Anissa, and Cara Maria. Along with that, he had a mini alliance with Corey and Thomas that was almost like the original version of the Young Bucks. On Rivals 3, Dario finished in 4th place with Nicole Ramos and would have made the final had there not been that last-minute elimination twist that put them against the best team, Bananas and Sarah Rice. He took criticism for somewhat accepting being 3rd place on that season at best, but when your partner is Nicole Ramos, it's not like you're going to win the season. And I like Nicole Ramos, but she's kind of limited athletically. On Invasion of the Champions, Dario was playing a fantastic game, physically, socially, and politically, and was set up pretty damn well to go to the final had Sylvia not picked up a huge elimination upset win over Kayla. Dario also had 2 show matches during his challenge career. His first one was with Kellyanne on Battle of the Bloodlines. Nice. Then he had one with Ashley Kelsey on Invasion of the Champions, where they even dated for a year after the show. By his last season, Dario was someone who did not want to be on the challenge anymore, but just did it because the appearance check was too nice to decline. In 7th place, we have Brittany Thornton, who is one of the great overachievers in challenge history. On her rookie season, Jury 30, she came in with very little buzz and was overshadowed by the other Are You The One female rookie, Tori Deal. Brittany, though, on her rookie season won 2 eliminations against Brianna LaCuesta and Nicole Ramos. While Brianna and Nicole obviously aren't great physical competitors, anytime you can win 2 eliminations rookie season, that is huge. She came in 6th place overall, and what really amplified her is how much she engaged with fans on social media. On Vendettas, Brittany raised her social profile even more by getting in better shape and starting a relationship with Brad Fiorenza, who hadn't been on the show in 8 years, and was coming fresh off a divorce with Tori Hall, former 2-time challenge champion. Brittany was also involved in Pizzagate, which was a moment in which her and Brad were having sex, and Marie Rhoda decided to throw a bunch of pizzas on top of them. Brittany made enough of a splash on Vendettas to get her ex-boyfriend Chuck casted as her partner for Final Reckoning, and also maybe to create a love triangle between herself, Chuck, and Brad. After they got purged and eliminated from the game, Paulie started a rumor that Brittany and Chuck were hooking up in the Redemption House, very much enraged Brad, and that was a whole good amount of drama. Brittany and Brad broke up after Final Reckoning, and we have not seen her on the challenge since then. She is definitely interested to do another season, but I don't know if MTV's interest is there. Along with that, she's had problems with DUIs, and that might be why she hasn't been casted again. Before we jump into the top 6, I want to say that there is a massive leap between the previous 18 people we've talked about and the 6 we're going to talk about right now. And I also want to say that 6 through 4 specifically, I switched them around so many different times. In 6th place is Tori Deal. Tori has appeared on 5 seasons of the challenge, along with 2 Champs vs. Stars spin-offs. She's made it to 2 finals and has a career elimination record of 3-3. Tori's career has been filled with highs and lows. Her rookie season, she made the final, and on War of the Worlds 2, you could make the legitimate argument that she was physically the best female player that season. In terms of screen time, Tori on both those seasons had the most confessionals by a female. But switching over to lows, she's been an early boot on Final Reckoning, Total Madness, and Double Agents, with her Double Agents and Total Madness eliminations coming in very embarrassing fashion. While Tori has all these accolades and MTV has definitely pushed her like a star, I've seen her on a total 9 different MTV shows and still don't have a firm grasp on her personality or who she is as an individual. And because of that, she's 6th. But she could very easily be 4th or even 3rd because her laundry list of achievements on the show thus far is impressive. In 5th place is Devin Walker, who has appeared on 5 seasons of the challenge and 1 Champs vs. Stars spin-off. For Devin's first 4 seasons of the challenge, his storyline was he hated Giant Bananas, and on Vendettas, he pulled off one of the great elimination upsets by defeating him. Along with Cheyenne, Devin was the first Are You The One player to ever make it to a final, and what was really important about him is that he was proud to be from Are You The One. He was a pole bearer, he shouted from the rooftops that he was from the show, and supported everyone else from the franchise. On top of his elimination win against Bananas, Devin has a career 4-1 elimination record, and has eliminated both Zach Nichols and Wes Bergman in the past. He had an on-screen hookup with Camilla on Rivals 3, and an off-screen entanglement with Marie Rhoda that played out on X on the Beach Season 3. What put Devin ahead of Tori for me is his performance thus far on Double Agents. He's had his back against the wall, and despite that has been winning daily challenges, won an elimination, and he's still fighting. He's getting under the skin of the Big Brother players at any chance he gets, and it's been super entertaining. Devin is killing this season, he's had the most confessionals of any males this season, and he's shown that he doesn't need Bananas for a storyline. When you compare Devin and Tori, Tori is so talented and trains so hard for the show, but just underperforms. Meanwhile, Devin drinks foamers, and he's not that talented or athletic, but he maximizes his value. And Tori kind of eschews the idea of being an Are You The One player, whereas Devin wears it on his sleeve. In 4th place is a somewhat controversial pick, and it is Amanda Garcia. Similar to Devin, Amanda's one of those people where when she came on the show, she put Are You The One players on the map and kind of gave them some name recognition. What ranks Amanda so high is that she has such a big impact. She is a polarizing player. You either despise Amanda and view her as a villain, or you kind of view her as a Robin Hood figure, taking down the worst people in the show's history, whether it be Camilla, Giant Bananas, Zach, etc, etc. When Amanda came in on Rivals 3 as an alternate, she was a ball of fire who had the entire house pressed. On Invasion of the Champions, Amanda alongside Ashley ran the game politically, where they secured the votes of the strongest male players, and then used their female friends like Latoya, Anika, Marie, and Sylvia almost like pawns, where they kept themselves safe and sent them into elimination. Amanda was a half footstep from eliminating Nicole Zenyatta in a physical elimination in what would have been one of the best upsets ever. Had she made the final, even Ashley Mitchell has admitted that Amanda would have probably beat her because Amanda's better at puzzles than Ashley, who is known as a puzzle person and is an underrated athlete when it comes to the cardio aspect of the game. Even in her abbreviated Dirty 30 run, Amanda made an impact. She had a 40-plus minute long physical redemption battle against a much bigger Jenna, showing that even though she was small, she could put up a good fight. On Final Reckoning, Amanda had a showmatch with Joss Mooney, and while partnered with Zach, won 4 out of 8 daily challenges. They complemented each other so perfectly when it came to the competition aspect of the game. The problem was they just didn't get along, and they blew up in spectacular fashion. But that spectacular blow up is the most Amanda Garcia thing ever. She doesn't end anything quietly, she ends it with a bang. At her core, Amanda is a loyal friend and partner, whether it be to the Lavender Ladies, to Nelson, to Hunter, to Devon, to Josh. No matter the person, she's gonna fight for them, and that's something you gotta respect. A little detail for those of you who do not believe in her as a physical competitor is that Amanda has the 6th best daily challenge record among females who've competed in at least 30 career daily challenges. And most of what I'm noting isn't even including all the drama she brings to the show, whether it be actual on-screen fights or social media stuff. Amanda is quality versus quantity. She may have never won a championship or gone to a final, but she'll make more of an impact in 5 episodes than some people do their whole career. Lover or hater, it does not matter. I just assume that you are not indifferent towards her. In 3rd place is Hunter Barfield, and of course he's in the top 3 because Hunter is the only Are You The One player so far to have become a challenge champion. Physically, Hunter is one of the best challenge athletes of the modern era. On Invasion, Hunter was dominating any physical challenge there was, and probably would have made the final had there not been the puzzle purge at the end. On Dirty 30, Hunter was kind of the MVP of that season because the entire Majority House Alliance was against him, his back was against the wall, and he competed his way to survive. He eliminated Leroy in a Hall Brawl elimination in what was, in my opinion, a great upset. In the process, he broke his hand, but then kept competing. He purged Jordan Wisely with a broken hand in a daily challenge, and then voted in Derek to set up a Bananas Derek elimination. Bananas gets sent out of the game, and Hunter, man, he makes it all the way to Final 5, but again, gets purged because of his hand injury. Then he comes into Final Reckoning as a mercenary with Ashley. They win the elimination to get in the game, and from there, they just bicker the entire way, go to the final, win the final, and then she steals the money from him. Hunter would return for War of the Worlds 1, where under Wes's wing, they would team up and go to the final together. Hunter was able to exact revenge on Ashley by beating her in the first elimination of the season, and alongside Georgia, they performed really well together as a pair physically. Hunter's performance in the final itself was a bit abysmal as he came in 6th place overall. Nonetheless, he's a 2-time finalist in 4 seasons, and again, the only Are You The One champion ever. He's been part of a major alliance, the Young Bucks, and he's had show matches with people like Liz Nolan, Nani Gonzalez, and most notably Ashley. What keeps Hunter from the number 1 and 2 spot is the fact that he just wasn't a great TV personality. He wasn't able to put together great confessionals, and in terms of the Young Bucks, was always the 3rd banana despite being maybe the best player out of all of them. In 2nd place is the person who has appeared on 7 seasons of the challenge, which is the most of any Are You The One cast member to compete on the challenge, and that is Nelson Thomas. And it's a bit surreal because even on Nelson's Are You The One season, he wasn't one of the top 5 most important males. Whereas Devin and Amanda gave notoriety to Are You The One competitors on the challenge, Nelson gave it that boost in legitimacy when he came up 2 minutes short of beating CT in the Invasion final, a time so suspicious that people have even created theories that maybe Nelson actually won. What's so impressive about Nelson is that even though he might not be the most talented player, and is definitely not the most intelligent guy in the room, he gives 110% no matter what. He will work his ass off in the gym before the season. He will try to come up with funny confessionals and funny nicknames. And he just goes all in. And that's something you want from a reality TV competitor. He gets into messy drama. He gets into hookups. Everything about him is awesome, and it really shines when he gets in that elimination arena. With 9 career elimination wins and 1 tie against Darrell, Nelson has the 3rd most elimination wins in challenge history. Another amazing aspect to Nelson is that he can switch between being a major player to a small background contributor and still be a positive net output. On seasons like Invasion, Dirty 30, Total Madness, Nelson is getting into every aspect of the game. He's battling in eliminations, he's getting into the politics, he's getting into drama, he's hooking up with people. And when he's in that role, he's a perfect divisive figure because on the one hand, he's an underdog. He just is, because he doesn't have the most talent. He isn't the smartest guy in the room. And you want to root for him because you want to see this guy overcome his lack of talent and just work his way to a victory. And on the other hand, you just see his lack of talent and you can make fun of him nonstop. Then, when in the comedic relief role, he's just dropping lines like audacity or needy greedy, and he's just making you laugh. Nelson, he doesn't need to be the star, but he can be when you need him to be. Yeah, Hunter objectively might be a better player than Nelson, but you've never cared about Hunter as much as Nelson when he's on screen. When Nelson's on screen, he might say or do anything. Also, we as fans just love eliminations, and there aren't many players who have shined as much in the elimination arena as Nelson Thomas. Before we jump into number 1, let's recap the list so far. 24th, Eddie Williams. 23rd, Brandon Tyndall. 22nd, Chuck Mowry. 21st, Asaf Boren. 20th, Alicia Wright. 19th, Anthony Bartolotti. 18th, Derrick Henry. 17th, John Jacobs. 16th, Brianna LaQuesta. 15th, Nate Siebenmark. 14th, Simone Kelly. 13th, Amber Martinez. 12th, Christina LeBlanc. 11th, Cheyenne Floyd. 10th, Brittany Baldassari. 9th, Adam Kuhn. 8th, Dario Madrano. 7th, Brittany Thornton. 6th, Tori Deal. 5th, Devin Walker. 4th, Amanda Garcia. 3rd, Hunter Barfield. 2nd, Nelson Thomas. And your number 1 best player on the challenge to come from Are You the One Ever? In first place is Cam Williams, and the moment she stepped on the field for the Challenge Vendettas, she immediately made herself a power player in the game. Cam exuded so much confidence as a rookie, and it wasn't fake confidence either. If you thought it was, she proved you it wasn't by becoming Killer Cam in the elimination arenas. Her first 2 eliminations were against Tori Deal and Ashley Mitchell, mercenaries. She took out both of them in physical games. While the haters said Cam was only getting her elimination wins because she was big, she silenced those haters by defeating Natalie Negrati, a former gymnast, cheerleader, and girl that weighs about 105 pounds in an elimination that was completely favored to a smaller person. Just demolished her. Cam makes it to the final of her rookie season vendettas, and had there not been the weird mercenary twist that sabotaged only her, she likely makes it to day 2 of the final and comes in 2nd or 3rd place overall. As much as I want to say that she could have won, that puzzle was made for Cara Maria. On Cam's 2nd season final reckoning, things just started off terribly for her. On day 1, her partner Melissa got DQ'd from the game for fighting, and on day 2, her partner got switched to being Kaylee Morris, who on Vendettas was the worst female in the game physically. Cam was dealt a terrible hand, but was able to turn lemons into lemonade. She went from Killer Cam to Coach Cam, and she supported Kaylee in such a way that got the best version of Kaylee ever on the challenge. They won 3 eliminations together, all of which were against teams that had at least 1 male competitor, and then one that was against a dual male pair of Brad and Kyle. In 2 seasons, Cam became one of only 2 players with 3 eliminations in 2 different seasons. And I want to say that they did the best that they possibly could as a pair despite not making the final, but they did even better than that. I expected them to be the first team out, and they made it all the way to Final 6. On War of the Worlds 2, we saw an evolution of Cam's game as she took more of the reins politically, and alongside Polly and Cara, they called the shots. It was Cam's relationship with Kaylee and the UK side that made sure that they knew who was going elimination, regardless of what team won. Cam, alongside her alliance, were able to cruise to the final without seeing an elimination. Sadly, she came up short due to a puzzle purge, and the final itself being kinda wacky. It was still a strong political performance that is very underrated to this day. Meanwhile, in 2021, we are seeing the best version of Cam on Double Agents, as her and Leroy are really controlling the game. They're doing a great balancing act between the Veteran Alliance and the Big Brother Alliance, where they don't have a target on them, and they both already have their gold skulls. Cam is now a career 8-2 in eliminations, which ties her for the 2nd best mark by any competitor in the show's history, only trailing Laurel Stuckey, which is a pretty damn good person to be trailing. She's made 2 finals in 4 seasons, and is probably going to make it to 3 and 5. She's been a top player whenever on the show, and is a massive threat to anyone. Nobody wants to face Killer Cam in elimination. She's also had her fair share of rivalries and showmances. Her showmances, whether they be with Theo or Leroy, they weren't at a point where they defined who she was as a human, they were just relationships that brought her happiness, and in those cases, she often elevated the other people she was hooking up with. So often we see these challenge rookies hook up with vets in order to get some clout and name recognition. Cam hooked up with Leroy and made Leroy into a better human being. She got him to play the game for himself rather than for his friends. And most importantly, Cam is a strong, powerful, beautiful black woman who you could put as the face of your franchise because she's entertaining, a great competitor, she's strategic. She's everything you want in a challenge competitor and more. I feel when we look back in time, not only is Cam going to be the greatest player to ever come from Are You The One on the challenge, but she's also just going to be one of the greatest women to ever compete on the show. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and subscribe if you can. Have a great day.